Good afternoon, dear students. Previous session, we started to discuss about temple towns and pilgrimage centers. Temple towns, and pilgrimage center. So, dear students, we learned a few the ancient town and which are developed as a temple towns and pilgrimage centers, especially Tanjavur. See, Tanjavur, it is actually one of the best example for a temple town. See, here, the temple towns represent a very important pattern of urbanization because of the temples only. So the areas or the city or village or the regions, so they were actually developed, understood. So there were so many reasons why. Because of the temples only, the places were developed. Especially dear students, the process by which cities develop, understood. So, because all other activities also developed. So that's completely the what we call the urbanization, the process by which cities develop. See, temple towns were often central of the economy and even central to the society also. Because temples means there were so many other economic activities. So actually the rulers they were built temples, already we knows that, to demonstrate their devotion to various deities. And they also endowed temples with grants of land and money to carry out elaborate rituals also, feed pilgrims and priests, and celebrate festivals. So, pilgrims who flocked to the temples, so they were also made donations. So, dear students, temple authorities used their wealth, those who are having the authority on those temples, the temple authorities. So, those temple authorities, they were used their wealth to finance trade and banking also. ಅವರು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮತ್ತು ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳ ಮೇಲೂ ಸಹ ಅವರು ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಹಣವನ್ನು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಶೇಖರಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಗ್ರಾಜುವಲಿ ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೀಸ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. ಸೊ there were the large number of priests and even the workers also, artisans also, traders also, etc. etc. There are the varieties of people where they are doing there. Even the present days also. Almost the temple towns they are developed economically, socially. They are so, and there are the different kind of the craft persons, artisans, and those who are involved in a different kind of works, shopkeepers. Understood? See here, settle near the temple to cater to its needs and those of the pilgrims. ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So thus grew temple towns during that time and even the present day also. So already we know that last class we discussed the towns such as emerged around temples. Those are Billa Swami, that is in Bilsa, Vidisha, which is in Madhya Pradesh, and Somnath, which is in Gujarat state presently, and even some of the other temple towns such as Kanjipuram and Madurai in Tamil Nadu, and even Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh also. So these are the some of the example for the temple towns. See, dear students, pilgrimage centers also slowly developed into townships. ಯಾತ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಬಹುದು ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಆ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಬನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವೃಂದಾವನ್, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಯುಪಿ ಅಥವಾ ಉತ್ತರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್ ನಿಯರ್ ಮಥುರಾ, and also Tiruvannamalai. So Tiruvannamalai it is in Tamil Nadu state. Presently, it is in Tamil Nadu, Tiruvannamalai. So these are some of the examples which are emerged as the towns. See, and also dear students, we all knows that one of the famous pilgrimage center that is about Ajmer. So Ajmer, ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಕೇಳಿರಬಹುದು ಮಕ್ಕಳ, one of the holy place for the Islam followers. See here, the Ajmer, it is in present Rajasthan. Ajmer, it is in present Rajasthan. So Ajmer actually it was the capital city of Chauhan in the 12th century. Ajmer, it was a capital city of Chauhan kings during the 12th century, and afterwards it became one of the Subah headquarters under the Mughal rulers. When the Ajmer goes under the control of the Mughals, so the Ajmer became one of the Subah headquarters under the Mughal dynasty. So before actually during 12th century, Ajmer it was the capital city of Chauhan kings during 12th century. See, it provides an excellent example of religious coexistence. Already I told that Ajmer, even the present day also, it is one of the important pilgrimage center in our subcontinent. Actually, we knows that there we can see the Dargah, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti ಅವರ ಆ ಒಂದು ದರ್ಗಾವನ್ನು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. So because of Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, so who was actually one of the Sufi saint. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮುಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ who settled there in the 12th century, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti was settled in the 12th century, was one of the Sufi saint. About Sufi saints, so we are going to learn in the next chapters. Okay, see actually the Ajmer it was attracted devotees from all creeds. ಸೊ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಧರ್ಮದ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಒಂದು ಜನರು ಸಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ಖ್ವಾಜಾ ಮೊಯಿನುದ್ದೀನ್ ಚಿಸ್ತಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅಜ್ಮೀರ್ಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಪಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ನಿಯರ್ ಅಜ್ಮೀರ್ there is a lake, even the present day also, which is called as a Pushkar. So Pushkar, it is also one of the important pilgrims from ancient times onwards. ನೀವು ಪುಷ್ಕರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸರೋವರ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಅಜ್ಮೀರದ ಸಮೀಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. whenever if you visit the Ajmer, please don't miss the Pushkar. So please visit the Pushkar lake, and it is one of the famous pilgrims center from ancient time onwards. Getting these students. Now let us discuss about a network of small towns. A network of small towns. a network of small towns. See, from the 8th century onwards, our subcontinent it was actually dotted with several small towns from the 8th century onwards. So there were several small towns emerged in our subcontinent. See, these probably emerged from large villages. ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. If it is a small village, then developed as a large village, and the large villages are emerged as a cities, and then cities emerged as a towns and all. It is like that only. So day by day, the progress, the development used to take place. See, they usually had a what we call mandi. Of later times, it is called as mandi, but that is called during the time mandapika. Mandapika. So later, it was known as mandi. Understood? So the most of the large villages usually had a mandapika. So later, it is known as mandi. See, to which nearby villages brought their produce to sell. Mandi means what? Even this word till present we are using in our diet. Mandi means that is a marketplace. Then don't get confused. Mandi means marketplace. ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಂಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮಂಡಪಿಕ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿಲೇಜ್ಗಳಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಜನಗಳು ತಾವು ಬೆಳೆದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ವಿನಿಮಯ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಂಡಪಿಕ ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಥವಾ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಕರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಲೇಟರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಂಡಪಿಕ is known as so mandi. Understood? That means so here all the nearby villages they brought their produce to sell in the market. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಇವನ್ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಂಡಿ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಸಹ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣು ಮಂಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಹೂವಿನ ಮಂಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ವೇರ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್ಸ್ they are selling their produce. See, they also had a market streets. ಈ market streets ಗಳನ್ನ ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹಟ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಟ್ಟ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಸ್. So those market streets are called as hatta, and afterwards these market streets are called hart. So later hart, in the beginning the market streets are called as hatta. See here market streets andre ಬಹುಶಃ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಕಳ. ಇಡೀ ಬೀದಿ ತುಂಬಾ the entire streets it's full of, for example, shops irbodu besides, or there were streets for different kinds of artisans. For example, potters or oil presses or sugar makers, toddy makers, smiths, and then stone masons, etc. etc. ಐಡಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಹೂ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮಡಕೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ವೆಜಿಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವೆಜಿಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಷ್ಟು ವೆರೈಟಿ ಐಟಮ್ಗಳು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಪಾಟಲ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಸಲಕರಣೆಗಳು. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಆ ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದನ್ನ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ಸಿಯಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದೀಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೌನ್ ಆಸ್ hatta, and later those were called as ha. Understood? So actually there were different kinds of artisans such as potters, oil presses, sugar makers, toddy makers, smiths, and even the varieties of the artisans and the craft persons. See, here almost all those artisans they were came from far and near to these towns to buy local articles and sell products of distant places like, for example, horse, salt, camphor, saffron, betel nut, and spice like pepper, and so on. ಸೊ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅಥವಾ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ದೊರೆಯದೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜನಗಳು ಕೂಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂತ, ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸಹ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಇವನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೊಕ್ಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಮುದೋಳ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿ ಫ್ರೈಡೆ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ನೋಸ್ ದಟ್ ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸಂತೆ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಬಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಡೇ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ because the people they are coming from distant places, maybe from nearest, from far away from this market area, and they are bringing the varieties of things. ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಫ್ರೈಡೇ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಸಹ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಂದ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತನ ಜನಗಳಿಂದ ಸೊ ಮಾರೋರು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಂತ ಜನಗಳು ಸಹ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವಸ್ತುಗಳು particular on that day only available on the market, in the market. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸೊ ವಿಶೇಷ ದಿನಗಳು, ಸೊ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾವು ಮುದೋಳ ಲೊಕ್ಯಾಲಿಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಸೊ ಸಂತೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಸೊ ಅದು ಫ್ರಮ್ ಏನ್ಸಿಯಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಮೆನಿ there were like this the market places, market streets, and there were many people they came from far and near to these the towns and to buy local articles and even for sell products of the distant places also. ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತ ಇತ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಲೈಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಸಸ್, ಸಾಲ್ಟ್, camphor, saffron, betel nut, spice like pepper, and so on so things, to sell also and to buy also. So dear students, usually a samanta or in later times a jamindar built a fortified palace in or near these towns. So ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಯೂಶುವಲಿ a samantas and afterwards even the jamindars also, so they were built a fortified palace in near these towns. ಆ ಟೌನ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಅವರು ಫೋರ್ಟಿಫೈ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೋಟೆಗಳಿಂದ ಸುತ್ತುವರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಲೇಸಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇವೊಂದು ಸಾಮಂತಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಜಮೀನ್ದಾರ್ಸ್. ಸಿ ದೇ ಲೆವಿಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆನ್ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. ಸೊ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ದೇ ಲೆವಿಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆನ್ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್, artisans and articles of trade, and sometimes donated the right to collect these taxes to a local temples which had been built by themselves or by rich merchants. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವು ಸರಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಸೊ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಸಾಮಂತ ಅಥವಾ ಜಮೀನ್ದಾರರು ಸೊ ಫೋರ್ಟಿಫೈಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಲೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ಒಂದು ನಿಯರ್ ಇಂತಹ ಟೌನ್ಗಳ ಪಕ್ಕ ಕಟ್ಟಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಹ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಆರ್ಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಮೇಲೂ ಸಹ ಅವರು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವು ಸರಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೊ ಡೊನೇಟೆಡ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಟು ಲೋಕಲ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್. ಕೆಲವು ಸಾರಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನ ಆ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ದೇ ಕುಡ್ collect the different taxes. So the right of collecting taxes actually donated by whether samantas or jamindars, see, which had been built by themselves or by rich merchants. So those temples may be built by samantas, jamindars, or even by some of the rich merchants. See, these rights were recorded in inscriptions that have survived to this day. So all these things were recorded in inscriptions. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವುಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ದಾಖಲೆಗಳು, ಶಾಸನಗಳು ದೊರೆತವೆ. Are you getting this, students? Okay, now let us discuss about traders big and small. Traders big and small. See, even nowadays also you can see, observe that there are big traders also and then small traders also. ಸಣ್ಣ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರನ್ನು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಹಾಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್. Traders big and small. See, there were many kinds of traders. So this included the Banjaras. So regarding Banjaras, so we are going to learn more in the 7th chapter. Understood? So several traders. ಎಂತೆಂತಹ traders ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, just you can go to market, then you can observe them. ಮಡಿಕೆ ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ತರಕಾರಿ ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೆಣಸಿನಕಾಯಿ ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಈರುಳ್ಳಿ ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರಕಾರಿ ಮಾರಿದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದನ್ನ ಮಡಿಕೆ ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಣ್ಣು ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಧನ ಸಲಕರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೂ ಮಾರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ದವಸ ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಪೈಸಿ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಸೊಪ್ಪು ತರಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರೈಟೀಸ್. ಬಟ್ಟೆ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡೋರು ಅಥವಾ ತಮ್ಮ ಕರಕುಶಲ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ತಂದು ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ಹಲವಾರು ವಿಧದ ನಾವು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ಸೆವರಲ್ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಬಹುಶಃ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ದನದ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಗಳು ಸಹ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. ಹಾಡು, ದನ, ಕುರಿ, ಮೇಕೆ, ಇವನ್ ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಕುದುರೆ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಸಹ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್. Understood? See, dear students, like this there were several trades, even those days also, even the present days also. Especially ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್. ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಘಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದ ಸಂಘ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ the horse traders formed associations with headmen who negotiated on their behalf with warriors who bought horses. With the headman. So ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಕುದುರೆ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರದವರು ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. See, since traders had to pass through many kingdoms and forests. ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದಾಗ, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಗಾರರು ಅಂದಾಗ, ಅವ್ರು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ, ಕಾಡುಗಳನ್ನ, ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಸರಿಸಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಹಾಯ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ವಲಿ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರವಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಡ್ ಗಿಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಂಟರೆಸ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿ ಗಿಲ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. So especially the horse traders, they have formed what we call the associations, especially even so they were formed guilds also. Guilds were traders associations. So why they were formed these guilds? Now to protect their interests. To protect their interests. See, there were several such guilds, especially in South India. From the 18th century, sorry, not 18th century, from the 8th century onwards, the most famous being Manigramam and Nanadeshi. From the 8th century onwards, the most famous being the Manigramam. Grama, and so the another one Nana Desi. Nana Desi, especially in the southern part of our subcontinent. So these were the name of the gates which were existed during 8th century onwards, especially in the southern part of India. So Manigrama and Nana Desi. These were actually the guilds. See, these guilds traded extensively both within the peninsula and with Southeast Asia and China. See, dear students, so these trade guilds, actually they were extensively traded with even the Southeast Asia also, China also, and even within the peninsula also. Getting these students. See, there were also communities like the Chettiars. So these were actually the traders communities, Chettiars, especially in southern part of the subcontinent. Chettiars and the Marwari Oswal, who went to become the principal trading groups of the country. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸಹ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೆನಪಿರ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಬಹುಶಃ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಮಾರ್ವಾಡಿಗಳು, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಮಾರ್ವಾರಿ ಓಸ್ವಾಲ್. See, these Marwari Oswal and then Chettiars. So these are actually the different traders community groups in our country. And also dear students, Gujarati traders and including the communities of Hindu Baniyas and Muslim Bohras. So they are all actually Hindu Baniyas and Muslim Bohras. So they are all actually the trading groups or traders community. So they were traded extensively, including all these groups: Chettiars, Marwari Oswal, and Hindu Baniyas and Muslim Bohras. They are especially the communities which were engaged in a different trades. So they were traded extensively with the ports of the Red Sea and even the Persian Gulf, East Africa, Southern East Asia, and even they were traded with China also. They sold textiles and spices through the ports, and in exchange they bought gold and ivory from even the Africa, and spices, tin, and Chinese blue pottery and silver from Southeast Asia and China. So like the dear students, so there were so many the different traders communities they were traded with even the different parts of our country also. Understood now? So regarding this topic, I would like to continue in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.